I have an announcement. I've been chosen to represent our family's legacy. As for Madeline, Vanessa paused, looked right at me across the dinner table, smiled. Well, not everyone's cut out for greatness. Laughter rippled through the room. My parents nodded like she'd said something wise. I sat frozen, fork halfway to my mouth, feeling 15 pairs of eyes on me. Some people are meant to support, Vanessa continued, raising her glass higher. Others are meant to lead. We all know which one you are, sis. More laughter, louder this time, but what none of them knew was that I'd already been offered something they couldn't even dream of. My name is Madeline. I'm 24 years old. And at that moment, sitting at my parents' dining table surrounded by family who saw me as nothing, I had a job offer folded in my purse that would change everything. But let me back up. I've always been the quiet one, the one who didn't quite fit. My sister Vanessa is 28, and she's always been the star, prettier, louder, more confident, the kind of person who walks into a room and takes up all the air. I'm a graphic designer. I work for a small marketing firm downtown. It's good work, creative work I actually love. But to my family, it's just playing on computers. My parents run a small catering business. Vanessa helps manage it. She's there every day, taking orders, organizing events, making sure everyone knows she's indispensable. My parents praise her constantly. I moved out when I was 22 to pursue design, to build something of my own. My family saw it as running away from real work. At every family gathering, I'm the afterthought. The one they ask to help but never invite to decide. The one whose accomplishments get a polite nod before the conversation shifts back to Vanessa. I wasn't the favorite. I didn't have their approval, but I had something they never bothered to notice. I had talent people were willing to pay for. Has your family ever treated you like this? Share your story below, because what happened next showed me that sometimes the people who should see you the clearest are the ones looking right through you. That dinner, the one where Vanessa made her announcement, was a Sunday. We have this tradition. Every other week, the whole extended family gathers at my parents' house. Aunts, uncles, cousins. About 15 people crammed around a too-small table. Vanessa stood up right after the main course, tapped her glass with a fork. I have some exciting news, she said. Mom and Dad have chosen me to take over the family catering business when they retire. Applause broke out. My mother actually teared up. It's such an honor, Vanessa continued, recognition of my dedication and my skills. I promise to take this legacy into the future. She turned to me then, that smile still plastered on her face. Of course, we'll still need someone to design menus and flyers. You can help with that, right, Madeline? For free, obviously. It's family. My mother beamed. It's wonderful to have one daughter we can count on. I felt my face flush, opened my mouth to respond. But my Uncle Ron cut in. What exactly do you do again, Madeline? Still doing that computer stuff? I'm a graphic designer, I said. I just finished branding for a local nonprofit. It was a really meaningful That's sweet, Vanessa interrupted. Like a hobby. But this is a real business. Real income. Real legacy. My Aunt Linda leaned forward. When are you going to settle down and do something meaningful, honey? I couldn't breathe. The walls felt too close. I excused myself to the bathroom, walked down the hallway on shaking legs. That's when I heard them, Vanessa and my mother, in the kitchen, voices low but clear. I worry about her, Mom said. She's so aimless. Don't worry, Mom. Vanessa's voice was casual, dismissive. She'll come around. She always does what we need eventually. I pressed myself against the wall. Couldn't move. Actually, Vanessa continued, I already told the Hendersons that Madeline would design their entire wedding package as a gift. They're expecting it next week. You didn't ask her first? She owes us anyway. We've supported her long enough. My mother didn't disagree, just hummed in agreement. I stood there in that hallway, shaking, finally understanding. They didn't see me as family. They saw me as free labor. The next week, I found out through Instagram that my parents had a business planning meeting with their accountant. Vanessa posted a story, her, mom, and dad at some upscale restaurant. Caption, planning the future, track family business Tosh legacy. I wasn't invited, wasn't even told it was happening. I called my mother, tried to keep my voice steady. Why wasn't I invited to the meeting? Oh, honey, she sounded distracted. This is serious business talk. You wouldn't be interested. Besides, Vanessa's the one taking over. I grew up in that business too, Mom. I worked summers there through high school, every summer. You chose to leave, Madeline. Vanessa chose to stay. Actions have consequences. She hung up before I could respond. I stared at my phone, at Vanessa's smiling face on my screen. They'd erased me, rewritten the whole history with Vanessa as the only heir, like I'd never been there at all. 2 weeks later, my cousin Michelle had her engagement party. Upscale venue, open bar, the works. Vanessa gave a toast. To family, she said, raising her glass. To those who contribute versus those who take. She looked directly at me when she said, take. People laughed, clinked glasses. I wanted to disappear. Later, she cornered me near the dessert table. 2 of our cousins stood nearby, watching. So, have you started on that wedding design I promised the Hendersons? They're expecting it next week. I blinked. You never asked me. I have paying clients, Vanessa. Her voice rose, loud enough for people to turn. Oh, so you're too good to help family now? After everything we've done for you? Our cousins exchanged glances. One whispered to the other. You know what your problem is? Vanessa stepped closer. You're selfish. You only care about yourself. I left, walked to my car, sat in the parking lot fighting tears. The texts started after that. Constant texts, demanding free designs, urgent family business graphics, new menus, promotional flyers. When I said I couldn't, that I had work, actual paying work, Vanessa sent a message to the family group chat. Guess we know where Madeline's priorities are. Money over family. My phone rang within minutes. Mom. Why are you being difficult? It's just a few designs. Vanessa works so hard. I have a job, Mom. I can't. My father's voice in the background. We raised you better than this. Then he took the phone. Your sister needs help. Family helps family. I'm trying to explain. No, you're trying to make excuses. He hung up. An hour later, another text from Vanessa. This one, private. I'm ashamed to call you my sister. You've become someone I don't even recognize. I stopped responding after that. The family group chat continued without me. Planning events I wasn't invited to. Sharing photos I wasn't in. I threw myself into work. Stayed late at the office. Let calls go to voicemail. One evening, I broke down to a coworker. Maybe they're right, I said. Maybe I am selfish? She looked at me like I was crazy, but I couldn't shake it. The doubt. The shame. What if they were right? But here's what they didn't know. 3 weeks before Vanessa's big announcement, something happened I hadn't told anyone. I received an email from Meridian Lifestyle Brand, a major company. Stores in 12 states. They were looking for a creative director for their new regional branch. They'd seen my portfolio online. Wanted to interview me. The process was intense. Portfolio review. 3 rounds of interviews. a full presentation to their executive team. I'd been working on a rebrand concept for months, just for myself, just to stay sharp. I showed it to them. They loved it. The final interview happened the same week as that family dinner, the one where Vanessa announced her legacy, and they offered me the position. What they didn't know, what I hadn't told anyone, was that I'd already been offered the position. Creative director, leading a team of 12 designers, salary 3 times what I currently made, full benefits, creative control, start date flexible, within 2 months. I hadn't accepted yet. Part of me still hoped my family would see my value, that they'd ask about my life, notice my work, that maybe I mattered to them. The offer letter sat folded in my purse during that entire dinner, while Vanessa announced her legacy, while my mother cried with pride, while my uncle asked what I did for a living like I'd never told him before. It was there, a secret shield. There was more too. My former professor, Dr. Calloway, had approached me about teaching a design workshop at the university. My portfolio had been featured in a regional design blog the month before. My family never noticed, never asked. I'd spent so long trying to prove myself to them, I didn't realize I'd already proven myself to people who actually mattered. The brand wanted me to start in 6 weeks. I'd been stalling, unsure. But after that dinner, after Vanessa's announcement, something shifted. I knew what I had to do. I met Dr. Calloway at a coffee shop the following week. She took one look at me and frowned. "You look exhausted. What's going on?" I broke down. Told her everything. The announcement, the demands, the texts, the shame. She listened. Didn't interrupt, just listened. Then she said, "I've seen your work. I've watched you grow. Do they know what you've accomplished?" I tried to tell them. They don't care. Then stopped trying to make them care. Her voice was firm, kind. Accept that position. Teach that workshop. Build a life they can't diminish. She told me about her own family, how they dismissed her PhD as a waste. Now she was department chair. "The best revenge isn't proving them wrong," she said. "It's building something so solid their opinion becomes irrelevant." For the first time in months, I felt seen. Meanwhile, my family grew more arrogant. Vanessa posted constantly on social media, leading the family into the future. Photos of catering events, behind-the-scenes kitchen shots, the group chat buzzed with praise. My mother shared every post. So proud of my successful daughter. I'd muted notifications, but sometimes I checked. Each message a fresh wound. Vanessa sent me one direct message. "You're welcome to come back when you're ready to apologize and help properly." I sat at my desk that night, staring at 2 documents on my screen. The offer letter from Meridian, unsigned, an email draft to my family, unfinished. I opened my laptop, started typing. I accepted the position, negotiated a start date 1 month out, signed the contract electronically. Dr. Calloway texted me an hour later. "Proud of you. Let me know when you're ready to go public." 2 weeks passed. I worked quietly, told no one. Then the invitation came. Vanessa's future planning celebration dinner. I wasn't invited to help plan, just expected to attend. Vanessa texted me separately. "Bring a dessert. Store-bought is fine. We know you're not much of a cook like me." I stared at that text for a long time. Then I decided. This dinner would be my last family obligation. I RSVP'd yes, and I began preparing what I'd say. The celebration dinner was at my parents' house. Same setup as before, same relatives, same table. Vanessa held court, talked about expansion plans, new catering contracts, her vision for the future. My parents glowed with pride. I'm even renaming the Business, Vanessa announced. Vanessa's Legacy Catering. My mother gasped. It's perfect, a new generation. I sat quietly, eating the store-bought cake I'd brought. Vanessa had made sure everyone knew it was store-bought. After dessert, Vanessa stood. Again. I want to thank everyone for supporting me. Well, almost everyone. She glanced at me. Some people choose to pursue their own paths, and that's fine. We all contribute in different ways, small ways. Laughter around the table. I stood up. The room went quiet. You're right, Vanessa. I did choose my own path. She smirked. I'm glad you're finally accepting. I've been offered a position as creative director for Meridian Lifestyle brand. I start in 3 weeks. Silence. Complete silence. My mother's fork clattered to her plate. What? When did this happen? 3 months ago. Interview process? Portfolio review? They hired me based on my work. The work you called a hobby. My father cleared his throat. Well, that's good, honey, but I'll be leading a team of 12 designers. The salary is more than triple what I make now. More, actually, than the catering business brings in annually. Vanessa's face went pale. Uncle Ron leaned forward. Wait, Meridian? They're huge. I pulled out my phone, showed the official offer letter. I also start teaching a design workshop at the university next semester. Professor Calloway asked me specifically. Aunt Linda's eyes widened. Why didn't you tell us? I tried. At the last dinner, you called it a hobby. You said I was aimless. Vanessa recovered quickly, forced a smile. Well, congratulations. But family is still family. You'll still help with designs, right? No. Her smile faltered. What? I charge $150 an hour for freelance work. If you'd like to hire me, I can send you my rate sheet. My mother stood up. Madeline, that's your family. Family that called me selfish for having boundaries. Family that excluded me from business meetings. Family that used my skills for free while mocking my career. I turned to Vanessa, looked her in the eye. You declared me unworthy. You were right. I'm unworthy of being treated like this. I grabbed my coat. Vanessa followed me to the kitchen, away from the others. You're really not going to help me? Her voice was quiet, desperate. You told Mom I owe you. You said you were ashamed to be my sister. You've spent years making me feel small. I didn't mean, you left. You left the business, left us. I was angry. I didn't leave. I grew. There's a difference. Tears filled her eyes. Everyone always liked you better. You were the smart one, the creative one. I had to be loud to get noticed. So you made sure I wasn't noticed at all. She wiped her eyes. I'm sorry. I really am. Can we start over? Maybe someday. But not today. I need to build my life away from people who diminish it. I walked back to the dining room. Everyone was still sitting there, staring. I love you, I said, but I won't be attending family dinners for a while. I need space to grow without being cut down. I headed for the door. My mother called out, Madeline, wait. I turned, looked at her. I waited. For years. For you to see me. I'm done waiting. I left. 2 months later, I sat in my new office. Nameplate on the door. Madeline Torres, creative director. My team meeting had just wrapped. Good energy, great ideas. My designs were being implemented across 3 states. My phone buzzed. Text from Vanessa. Saw your company featured in the business section. Mom and Dad saw it too. Another text. They're telling everyone now. Suddenly you're the pride of the family. Funny how that works. One more. I really am sorry. For what it's worth. I didn't respond right away. I was busy. Leading. Thriving. That weekend, I taught my first university workshop. The students were engaged, asking questions, taking notes. Dr. Calloway watched from the back, gave me a thumbs up. After class, a student approached me, young, nervous. "Thank you," she said. "My family thinks design is a waste of time. Seeing you makes me feel like it's possible." I smiled. "It's more than possible. Just don't wait for permission to be great." That evening, I sat in my new apartment. Bigger, better. Mine alone. I finally texted Vanessa back. "Thanks for the apology. I'm not ready yet, but maybe someday." Her response came quickly. "I understand. Congrats on everything. You deserve it." I looked at the family group chat, still muted, but now filled with congratulations. My mother. "We always knew you'd do something special." I almost laughed. Didn't respond. Instead, I posted a photo on my professional Instagram, my team, my office, my work. Caption: "Grateful to everyone who believed in me when I was still learning to believe in myself." For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. I finally understood I never needed their approval. I needed my own. If you've ever had to walk away from people who couldn't see your worth, even family, I want you to know you're not alone. It took me years to understand that being unseen by the wrong people doesn't make you invisible. It just means you're shining in a direction they're not looking. Where are you watching from? Drop your location in the comments. I read every single one, and if you've ever been called unworthy, selfish, or aimless by people who should have supported you, share your story below. Your experience matters. Hit subscribe if you believe your worth isn't determined by people who refuse to see it. You deserve to be celebrated, not tolerated. Don't ever forget that.